Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and today I'd like to do an animal that everyone's familiar with. You're probably familiar with the book Moby Dick by Herman Melville, and I'm going to create the great white whale Moby Dick. He was actually a sperm whale, and it's a fictional whale, but I guess it was based on, I was reading just recently that it was based on a whale called Mocha Dick, that there was a great white whale and that was given a lot of the whalers trouble. So this is what he would look like, and I'll show you the types of clay that we would use. We can use an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. I used to use this all the time as a kid when I make everything, and then when I get tired of it, I'd roll it up in a ball and make new stuff. There's an air-hardening clay, such as this, which can harden in a couple of hours or overnight. And then what you can do is, once it hardens, you can paint it, and then it can become permanent. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the oven about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. You can drill it, sand it. You can do a lot of detail with it, so that's what I love about this. And now I'll show you the size balls of clay that we're going to be using today. I actually have 5 balls of clay made up today. I have a couple right here, these 2 here. Those are going to be for the tail flukes. These here are going to be for the flippers on the side of the body. And then this is what we're going to use for the actual body. And we'll start with the body first, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to take this, I'm going to squeeze it like this. It's a good workout when you're working it in the hands like this. Going to do that. Good workout. As you can see right now, this is going to start to become the tail area right here, and this is where the head's going to be. So I'm just trying to lengthen the clay. So it's starting to take shape. I'm going to take this and start to create that. See, what I'm doing is I'm making this a little narrower there, because when the whale swims through the water, they're more streamlined. Take that, work that like that. I'm going to get that like that. And now we're going to start to create the head of the whale. So what I'm doing is I'm thinning this out a little bit. See that? Making that a little narrower. Just like that. But then it's almost like a square shape in the front. So we'll keep working that. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? It's really starting to take shape now. See that this is where the head of the whale is. That's going to be the top. See, that's the top there, and this getting now down near the tail region where we're going to add the flukes in a few minutes. So what I want to do is I want to compare it to my previous model here, and yeah, that's approximately right. Just want to make sure we have the right size and everything. So I'm going to put him like that. We can see he's right about so I'm just going to keep working that a little bit. Just like that. And now what I also want to do too is this is where the mouth of the whale is going to be. So I'm it almost looks like I'm creating like a little beak of sorts. But we're going to take and kind of make that little indentation like that. Just like that. I'm just going to kind of make a little indentation with my fingers there, my thumb, my finger. Because what I want to do is compare it, see how close it is to that one. What I want to do, I'm going to lengthen this a little bit. I'm going to flatten this out a little more like that. Just like that. Now I'm going to compare him to what I'm doing here. I want to make sure he's approximately the same size and everything. Yeah, he's coming along nicely. So we got that. Then I'm going to just make a little indentation with my thumb here. Just like that. One of the things we want to do now that we've got I want to add the tail flukes. These are the tail flukes for the whale right here. Both right here, and we're going to take 2 balls and we're going to create those. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to take these 2 balls of clay here, and I'll show you. We're going to flatten it out on one side. See, I'm flattening like that. And then we're going to, for the top part, we start to create the shape of the actual fluke on the tail. See that shape that we're creating right now? That's the shape that we want. And then I still want to flatten it out like that. And take my fingers and go around like that, create that shape. Make it nice and flat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to the tail fluke here and see if it's approximately the same size. See that? It is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the other one. So flatten these between your fingers. Just like that. But then we're going to start to create that shape. Just like that. Now what I want to do is I want to compare these, see if these are approximately the same size. They are, but what I want to do, see, one's a little bigger than the other, so I want to flatten this out a little more to make sure it matches the size of the other one. See that I'm flattening that way? But then you take your fingers and kind of create that shape there. Just like that. Now, the next thing that we want to do is I want to take and attach these to the actual tail. See that? So I'm going to push that in like that. And we're going to kind of work those together. So I'm going to I want to make sure they're properly attached. See how I'm doing that? Make sure it's attached. And then we're going to proceed to do the other side. So we'll do the same thing again over here. See I'm doing that? And then we'll make sure we get it from both sides. So I'm kind of pushing the clay up against that there. I want to make sure that it's properly attached, which it appears to be right now. From all sides. And now, I also want to kind of create like a little indentation here. See how I did that? Make that little indentation like that. And then what I'm going to do is I do have a little additional clay over here on this side. And I'm just going to take a little piece of clay here. Maybe just add it to the tail here, right, the top part here. Like that. See how I did that? And then what I also want to do is make sure that I take the tool here and kind of, see that what I'm doing there? I want to make sure that that's properly attached there. See I'm doing that? Just like that. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that that's done, I want to compare it to my model here. I'll pick those up. So now, there's a few things that I want to do. I want to make an indentation right about here. So I'm going to take my finger. See that? Gonna make a little indentation in there like that. See how I did that? Right in there. You can see it a little better that way. Just kind of create that. So now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to put some pieces of clay up here. We're going to take, and I'll show you what we'll do. We're going to take and get some pieces of clay like this. Get some balls. I'm just roll them between my fingers like this. And what I'm going to do, instead of doing balls for the second part of it, I'm going to start off with a ball of clay, but lengthen it like this. Just like this. See that piece there that I just created? I'll show you. I want to make sure it's about the same size as this one. You want it about this length here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I want to see my model. This is almost like a dorsal fin they're going to put up here. Out of that piece of clay, like that. I'm going to work it in from both sides. See how I'm putting that up there? I'll rotate it as I'm doing it, that way you can see it. There's like a little dorsal fin like that. The next thing that I want to do is I want to take that piece of clay that we had made before and put it right here on top, in the middle. We're going to push it down, just like that, on both sides. We're going to work it in. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? Now what I want to do is I do want to take this and make sure it's firmly attached. So see this? I'm just going to go along like this. Make sure that it's attached. Just like that. Work it in a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing from the other side. See that? Just like that. Now what I want to do is we want to create some ridges here. So I'm going to take this, kind of go like that. See I'm doing that? So we'll go like that. Then I can see I'm doing that. Because they have like Moby Dick is actually a sperm whale, so they do have these like little ridges. Every whale is a little different, but they do have like a little ridge on the back like that. And that makes it look pretty cool. It's going to make him look a lot more menacing too, because Moby Dick, you know, he was the great white whale, and all the whalers were afraid of him. So the next thing that we want to do is I want to look at my model and then figure out where I want to put the other flippers. Okay, so the flippers we're going to take, I'm going to put a mark with my finger. We're going to take these, we're going to make the flippers on the side. So what we do, squeeze them like this, flatten them out. See how I'm flattening them? And then we want to create a paddle-like shape like that. See that? Just like that. And we're going to do 2 of those. I'm going to put this one down here, and then we're going to create the other one. Like I said, flatten it between your finger and your thumb like that. But then let's not start to create the shape of almost the paddle or the fins. They're flippers. So what I want to do is I want to compare it to my other one, make sure that they're approximately the same size, because it's very important. See that? They're approximately the same size. And so now I'm going to take and I'm going to put that right on the side like that. See that? But take this, see my finger? We're going to work that in like that. And just blend the clay in so it looks like it's part of the whale. Just like that. See how we just did that? And we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to do a look. I want to make sure I have it approximately the same location, which I do. See that? I'm going to take and just work that in like that. And work that in, that flipper in like that. See how we did that? Very simple. Now, the next thing that we want to do is I want to work on making, I'll move him over here so we can see our model here. We want to make the lower jaw right here. We want to put teeth in it. See how it's got teeth? And we're going to work on that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a lower jaw. Take a little piece of clay off here. Make a ball. And then I want to see if I'm making it the right size. I might have to make this ball a little bigger. Let's see the jaw. I might just add a little more clay to this just to make it a little bit bigger. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we'll roll this into a ball again, like that. Now what I'm going to do is, like I said, flatten out on one side. And then I'll show you the shape that we want. See the shape that I'm creating? It's kind of a narrow jaw. So that's why we want to do that. And what I want to do is compare them, see where I can when I put the jaw in there, it's going to approximately go there. So I want to So now, let me see if I can fit that. Yeah, that's going to work out. So, what we want to do is we're going to take this tool and kind of push down, make some like indentation, like this, for the mouth. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? Make that indentation like that. So that's what it will look like from the side, the top, other side. That's what it will look like from the bottom. The next thing that I want to do is we're going to make a bunch of little teeth. So I'm going to take and I'll just drop them here so you can see them. Very tiny. Very tiny. Now, with the sperm whale like that, Moby Dick, he's only got teeth in the lower jaw. And then in the upper jaw, they have like sockets where those teeth will go in and they'll fit right in. But they don't have teeth in both jaws. They just have them in the lower jaw, which I find interesting. So I'll just take these and do a few more teeth. Okay, I think I have enough little clay balls. It looks like I have, as long as I have 10 to 15, I think I'm all right. So what I'm going to do, so what you want to do is make these into a conical shape. Think of the upside down ice cream cone. Do that. See how I did that? Very small, but it's got to be small because we're going to put it in the mouth. So and what I'm doing is I'm just working it into the mouth right here. I want to get this tool. Just like that. See how I did that? You can see, I'll rotate it around so you can see it. See that tooth? And what we're going to do is going to put a tooth on the opposite side, do the same exact thing. Make the upside down ice cream cone. And then we'll work it in with that. Now we're going to take and put a few more teeth in there. Think of the ice cream cone again. We're going to take and place that right there. See how I did that? And then we'll do another upside down ice cream cone again. We'll put it in the opposite side. And then we'll just keep doing this. I'm making the upside down ice cream cone again. Work it in like that. We'll put the other one on the opposite side again, right there. And I'll just keep working it that way. Just keep putting. See how that's coming along? Upside down ice cream cone. Because you want to make the conical teeth. Okay, we got to get a few more in there. I know in some previous things that I showed you, you could bake teeth and put them in, but this is so tiny right now that it probably wouldn't have worked that easily if I had pre-baked them, because the size that we're dealing with right now. We'll just put a few more teeth in and we'll be in good shape. I think I'm just going to put one more on either side. See that? We'll put that in there like that. Just like that. And then we'll do one more. Oh, that fell. Now what we want to do is we're going to attach this to the mouth. See that? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more clay, and I want to make sure it's a little more attached a little better. So we're going to go around with this piece of clay. Just make sure that that's a little more clay. Okay, so now when I put them down, I'm just going to the next thing that we want to do is we want to work on the eyes. I'll show you how we're going to do that. So the eyes are approximately going to be here. So let me see. I just want to mark it so I know where to put them. Going to be approximately there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of clay, and we're going to build up that area so the eye will protrude a little bit. Got 2 balls of clay. One needs a little more clay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to roll this into almost like the shape of like a little football. And we're going to put it right here. See that, how I did that? Just like that. I just want to add it like that. Then we're going to proceed to do it to the other side on the same place. So that's where it's going to be on this side. See that? So what we're going to do, take that, and I'm going to kind of work it in like that. Just like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make the indentation roughly where the eye is going to be now. See that? Just like that. And then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Push it in a little bit like that. See that? And now what I'm going to do too is we want to kind of use this tool to elongate the eye a little bit. We'll make it a little bigger. See how I'm doing that? I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. See that? So now we're going to make it a little bigger. There. Then the next thing that we want to do is I'm going to take some little balls of clay like this, take these off, and we're going to make the pupils of the eyeballs. So I want to take want to make sure that don't make them too big either. Yeah, it's a little. I'm going to maybe make it half the size of that. Okay, so I'll just point to those. That's the size that we want right there. So we roll these, and I'm going to put these in right here. So I'll put that in where I made the indentation of the hole. We'll do the same thing in this one. And now what I want to do is we want to make, let me see, I just want to make sure I have the right size. We're going to make, kind of get where the eyeball should be right there. I put it in the center of that little thing there. And then we kind of rotate this a little bit. But now what I want to do is I want to take the tool and kind of outline the eye a little bit. See that? And we're going to proceed to do that on the other side. See how I did that? Okay, so now another thing that we want to do is we want to create the blowhole. Now, on a sperm whale is slightly to the left, so we're going to put it right here. See how I did that? It's slightly to the left of the head. Now what we're going to do is I also want to poke some holes in the bottom here because when it's fired in the oven, if you don't do this, the clay could crack. So I just want, you need to have, this lets some of the air escape from the clay so it doesn't crack. So what we're doing now is I want to take this, I want to show you, we're going to create a texture now. All along here, I want to create a texture, like make little indentations, make it look like the skin is wrinkled. So we're going to, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take this tool here. It's got this size head. It's out of all my tools, this got the biggest round ball or head. And what I'm going to do is take this and just kind of work this like this. Kind of push that in like that. See I'm doing that? Just like that. We want to make it look like that. So we got that. We're going to keep working it like that. See how we're doing that? Gives a really nice effect. Because you kind of want to make it look wrinkled back there. Just kind of making like little indentations. Just like that. We're going to come approximately, just going to make it a little bit more. See those little indentations that we're making? Let's make it just a little bit, we'll do a little on the top here. Just like that. Now we're going to come about halfway when we do that. And I'll show you, we're going to proceed to do that on the other side too. See how we did that? Now you can see me working that like that. Just like that. Because in the back like that, you want it to appear kind of shriveled because they're always in the water, so. I'm going to flip this over because it's going to be easier to do it this way. See how we're doing that? Just like that. You want to do that all the way down to the tail here. Just like that. And we're working our way up to at least halfway up the whale, right here. We're doing that. I can try to get my hands out of the way so you can see. Now what we want to do, now that we've done that, you've come about halfway up the whale. You want to make some marks on Moby Dick, like some scratch marks and things. So what I do is I just kind of take this, what I do on the flipper too, just kind of take and make some lines. Because you want him to look like he's been in battles with whalers and things like that. Because he is the great white whale. So see that? I'm just kind of making scratch marks on his skin. I just want to show that he's been in many, many, many battles, so that we want to kind of rough that up a little bit like that. And then put a few on the jaw. You want to put a few up front here. You know, because he has a lot of battles with whale boats and things, and, you know. So see how that is? We're going to switch to do the other side. Just like that. I'm going to rough them up a little bit. To show some of the battles he's been in. And the top too. And then I also want to do this on the tail flukes too. Make a few lines. Like that. See that? Just like that. See that? we want to make him look like he's a very battle-hardened whale, which he is. So that's how you would do the detail for that. I'll show you what the final version should look like. This is what the final version of Moby Dick should look like. You can see how we roughed up the skin there, try to make it look, put the little wrinkles on things, the nice ridges on the back, the nice tail flukes there, and then the eyes. And then, like I did try, you got the teeth. He almost looks like he has a beak in his mouth. So see that? And then we went along with the tool to rough up the skin to make it look like there's battle scars and things. And then that's what he'll look like from the other side. And this is what he'll look like from underneath. Like you see, I'll put some holes here so when I fire him in the oven, he won't crack. And that's what he'll look like from the top part. And that's what Moby Dick, the great white whale, should look like. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations of Clay tonight. And I do wish to see you again next week. And thank you for now.